Good morning, people. It is time for the proverbial mad dash to the hospital. You know, the father driving like a maniac. So here, you're going to get to watch the entire trip if I don't have to truncate it. So here we are backing up from the garage. Yeah. Wife's in labor. I'm the panicked husband. Expectant father, as you can see. Okay, what really happened was, we're being induced, my wife is being induced right now because the baby has all the patients that I was born without. So it's about 5 days late. Today, I guess, is the day the doctor decides, okay, we're doing inductions on Tuesdays. I've got a window. So we had to show up last night, promptly at 7 o'clock, for them to start the whole process of inducing. Well, let's just say that a whole lot of nothing happened except for us not sleeping at all. They basically cost my wife a night of sleep. They stuck a bunch of tubes in her and put a monitor on the baby and this and that. And the baby likes to roll around a lot, especially between 7 and 8 o'clock, or 8 and 9 o'clock at night. So it would roll over and all of a sudden they couldn't hear the heartbeat. Oh, goodness gracious. Speaking of children, we're going to wait for a minute. I'm going to start recording in a second. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, basically, we went in last night, and they didn't even give my wife the drugs to induce. They gave her something else, and this morning is when they were going to give the drugs for induction. So you can see I'm driving about the same speed I did last night to the hospital, which is about 25 miles an hour. There's no rush, because there's a whole lot of nothing going on, and, you know, I was waiting for the whole proverbial blowing through the red lights and cops chasing me to the hospital, and no. So we have to make an emergency stop here at a certain coffee shop that shall remain nameless, because I will never get more crap if people spot me at one of these places. But anyway, so we're in the shopping mall here where this certain coffee shop is, but it's on the way. We're already halfway to the hospital, if you believe that. So I'm going to kill this and we'll start recording again once we're leaving this wonderful parking lot. Oh yeah, here's the liquor store over here. That's the important thing for me. I can get my scotch. Oh God, I'm going to be a father. Okay, so we're back. And I got to tell you, I got to go to coffee shops more often. A funny thing happened on the way to the hospital. So I order my standard drink, and this high-maintenance person, shall we say, ordered her drink behind me. And so you step back and you wait for them to make it. And as soon as the first cup went up on the counter, a woman grabs it. And I knew exactly whose drink it was, but she was in a damn hurry. So I was really, really hoping that she would actually leave before she tried it. So she comes back all PO'd, and there's lipstick all over this drink, and she goes, "Excuse me, this is not a tall chai latte." And I said, "You're right, ma'am, that's my mocha, but you were in a hurry, so guess what?" She didn't like me, and all the baristas laughed, because it happens all the time in every coffee shop around the world. People, before they have their caffeine, are a different person than they are after they have their caffeine. So anyway, okay, we're at a stop sign. It sucks. We're going to stop recording for a second. So here we go. Just went through some gridlock. That took 8 minutes to sit there at that traffic light because people decided to pull through. And anyway, so where was I? I think I was ripping on Missing Patient Coffee Cup. But yeah, good comedy. I was really, really hoping that she'd drive away before she took a swig, because nothing would have made my day more. Well, okay, obviously something's going to make my day more, but I just take, you know, sick pleasure in somebody that starts driving away and then her day is ruined because she was in such a hurry. Anyway, so now we are driving to the hospital. What was I talking about before that? I don't even know. Anyway, I think I was talking about how we got to spend the night at the hospital with a whole lot of nothing going on. Basically, it was the nurses panicking my wife and I because they'd come charging in when they couldn't hear the baby's heartbeat, because the baby likes to roll around a lot during that time. And they'd come in and, oh my goodness, and they put my poor wife on oxygen. She was on an IV, this and that, and I think it's a conspiracy. They wanted us to spend the night in the hospital so they could charge us all that money. And we live, as you see, a mile from the hospital. So we could have spent the night at home like we have the last 9 months. Wouldn't have been any problems. The baby wouldn't have known any different. My wife could have gotten some sleep. And I'm not even going to talk about me. I actually stayed there. It was the equivalent of sleeping on a table. It was really comfy. I mean, I've gone camping and it was freezing. It was Arctic in the room. It was crazy. They got the air conditioning cranked. I put it up as warm as I could, and I've gone camping in snow caves, and I was warmer. It was 20 degrees. Anyway, so it's making for a good story, that's for sure. So looking forward to what's going to happen today. Something else that was really funny was when they came in this morning at 7 a.m. It's now 8:30. They came in at 7 to administer the inducement drugs to my wife. They asked her what level her pain is on a scale of 1 to 10, and I chuckled and I said, God, you always hear that 1 to 10. And the woman said, yes, and if your wife doesn't take any drugs to offset the pain, she's going to experience a 12 today. Thank you, Miss Nurse, for already putting my anxious wife a little further over. That's fantastic. Anyway, parking lot, we're here. I'm going to shut this off and try and get it out on the used tubes in a little bit. Ciao.